Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. On behalf of the 800 employees, our 7 sites around the world, the board of directors, our investors, and me personally, I'd like to welcome you all to the ceremony today for recognizing our partnership with the state, as well as the relocation of our headquarters from New Jersey to Pennsylvania. To start, I'd like to first of all give a heartfelt thanks to Governor Shapiro. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we have a number of other distinguished guests in the audience. We'll have a few speakers that I'll introduce shortly, but in addition, we have our state Senator Joe Picozzi, Sean Doherty. We have Dr. Grant from the city. We have, I think, Life Science PA folks, Kurt and his team, and a couple of other people that I might be forgetting, but thank you all for joining us today. First, I'd like to make a few comments about Adair, so really help provide some perspective about what our company does. So Adair provides development, commercial manufacturing, analytical testing, and packaging services for companies around the world. Our core business is really providing innovative solutions for customers that are trying to solve challenging development, oral solid product, and small molecule challenges. And so we have a range of services that we provide to support that. Across the company, we are having development around 70 products today. We manufacture hundreds and hundreds of SKUs and ship these products to countries around the world. Our clients include small biotechs, mid-sized pharma, and some top 20 pharmaceutical companies. So we have a range of customers and different people, everyone from 2 men in a garage to the multinational companies that we have to be able to service. And we're really known for innovative technologies. So a wide range of technologies we're able to deploy. One of the areas, let me give you an example, is 3D printing. We recently installed some 3D printing capability for printing tablets in our Italian site. And as a matter of fact, we're in negotiations with the company to put a big commercial manufacturing facility here in our Dungan Road site. So look forward to more on that as we finalize that deal. So it'll be really exciting because it gives us a wide range of capabilities. So next question is, why Philadelphia and why Pennsylvania? Well, first of all, as I think about the decision, it was actually quite easy. I was explaining to the governor earlier, we have sites in Ohio and other places, and when it came down to it, I live in Wayne, Pennsylvania, and much of our team was here. We had 2 great sites, but more importantly, as I think about the access to a highly skilled workforce and a range of employees, large metropolitan area that's in a great geographical area. We're home to many great colleges and universities. I'm a personal testament to that. I've got a daughter who went to Bucknell, one who's currently at Lehigh. My son's at Drexel Med School. I have my other daughter in the audience. She's at Richmond, but we still love her very much nonetheless.
Okay.
Even though she's not a Pennsylvania school. We figure one can go,
yeah.
Maybe for graduate school, we'll get her in Pennsylvania. Amazing sports teams. Yeah, I know. Last night was tough. Penn State, I was watching late. I'm like, man, I got to get up early, but it was a tough game. But on the bright side, we have the Eagles to look forward to this weekend, so we love the sports teams. Maybe more relevant, we have 20 of our clients are Pennsylvania-based clients. We talked about, not to mention, many of our suppliers and the ecosystem that supports us. And finally, the local and state and regional governments have been really, really supportive in all the partnerships. I can't thank you enough for the support you've provided. So a couple details just about the relocation. Our relationship is not only for Dungan Road, where we have our headquarters, but we have a sister site on Orthodox Street about 10 minutes from here. From an FDA perspective, it's part of the same campus. Geographically, it's not so much. It's about 300,000 square feet, employing about 250 employees. And so this is really the core of what we've done. Over the next 3 years, we're going to be investing on our own money, around $20 million. But we're very excited to also have the partnership with the state for another $3 million of investment plus the city's investment. So really helping us to invest in all the equipment and facilities and people that we need to continue to grow this business. Really, I'm excited about this and the other partnerships we've had, in terms of the city and all the other partners we've had as we've built this relationship has been really quite exciting, and happy to share it today. So I'll make a few more comments shortly, but first I'd like to introduce Rick Seiger, the Secretary of PA Department of Economic and Community Development. Rick, really appreciate your partnership in all of this relationship, so thank you.
Thanks. All right. Thanks. Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to be back here for my quarterly visit at Adair Pharma. I was just here in the fall to celebrate your headquarters relocation from New Jersey to Philadelphia. It's a huge win for us, and it's emblematic of the kind of momentum we're continuing to build in economic development in Pennsylvania. And especially thanks to you, Tom, and really the whole team for hosting us yet again. Adair's choice to move to Pennsylvania is a great example of how, under Governor Shapiro's leadership, we're making Pennsylvania more competitive. We're helping businesses expand and relocate here, creating jobs that our residents deserve. And we're focused on our North Star, which is creating real economic opportunity for Pennsylvanians. When the governor took office in January of 23, he said, "I'm all in on economic development." And I'm proud to say that just 2 years in, we've gained 10,000 new jobs across the state. Our unemployment rate is lower today than when he took office, and we've secured with our direct intervention more than $3 billion in private investment, including here at Adair, since Inauguration Day. And I would posit to you that a big element of that success is that for the first time in almost 2 decades, we put a plan together. We built a comprehensive economic development strategy that's much more than just a piece of paper that sits on a shelf. This strategy has been the basis for historic investments the governor secured and actions we've all taken together, state, local, regional, in economic development. For example, with the governor's leadership, we've secured $500 million to get sites ready to go for business. We've created the PA Permit Fast Track program to directly address one of the common perceptions of our Commonwealth, that we've been too slow to get permits done. This new program moves at the speed of business and dramatically speeds up the permitting process for major projects. We've also increased workforce development funding by $65 million, a 50% increase, and we've secured $20 million across the state to support downtowns and small businesses on our main streets. All this adds up to a new approach to supporting growth and strengthening our communities, and I'm proud to say we're getting recognized for it. For example, we've climbed 25 spots in national rankings for occupational licensing, the biggest improvement of any state this year. And just recently in Site Selection magazine, an economic development publication, we surpassed New York to become its top Northeast state for regional economic competitiveness in 2024. When we first started in these jobs, the governor announced that we'd be creating an economic development strategy. Informed by a deep dive into the data, informed by you, talking to partners and businesses all across the state, we released it in early 2024. And throughout the last year, we've been implementing that strategy in meaningful ways through funding, through a renewed focus on our strengths, and through relentless approach on competitiveness. That's real action, it's getting it done. And under the leadership of Governor Shapiro, working in true partnership with the private sector and community leaders, we're delivering for Pennsylvanians. Thank you so much.
Now I'd like to introduce Claire Greenwood, who is the Executive Director and Senior VP for Economic Competitiveness for the Chamber of Commerce. It's been great having the partnership with the Chamber. I've become part of the Chamber board, so thank you for all the welcome.
Yeah, congratulations, Tom.
Thanks,
Thank
Claire.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom, for having us. Congratulations again on today, and I know the ribbon cutting in the fall, and thank you, Secretary Seiger, for your partnership and leadership. At the Chamber of Commerce for Greater Philadelphia, we really are committed and believe that Greater Philadelphia can be a top global business destination and a leader in inclusive growth. And we work every day to champion business and job growth to enable our region to thrive. So that makes it really an honor to be here alongside Governor Shapiro and others to celebrate the kinds of business attraction and expansion wins that we have been seeing, I think, increasingly in Pennsylvania in the last 2 years. Obviously, among them is Adair and their choice to make Greater Philadelphia their home. which makes them one of 1,200 life sciences companies here in our region that are employing more than 88,000 people. We know our region is a national leader in clinical trials. We're a pioneer in cell therapies, in gene therapies, in gene editing, in mRNA technology, and we know that we're going to continue to be a source of medical breakthroughs and commercial opportunity for, I think, a long time. We are clearly recognized now as a global hub for life sciences innovation, and when companies like Adair choose our region, they recognize what I think all of us already know, and what Tom said, I think, today, and I've heard you say before, that our region offers an unmatched talent, world-class research and development, and a thriving ecosystem for innovation. The governor has also recognized the importance of our innovation economy in Pennsylvania, and as Secretary Steiger mentioned, I think the economic development plan that was released last year is a really strong representation of the commitment to growing that innovation economy in the Commonwealth. We at the Chamber have been thrilled to see the governor's commitment to that strategy and to making Pennsylvania more competitive on the global stage. And as Tom mentioned, I think the Adair's decision, among other wins that we've seen in the last couple of years, to invest here was certainly influenced by our region's strengths, but also by the commitment from the Commonwealth and the city to their success. When businesses need to innovate, grow, and succeed, they increasingly are choosing Pennsylvania. Thank you, Governor Shapiro, for your leadership and commitment to changing how we do business in the Commonwealth. And we're continuing to look forward to more of these kinds of opportunities and wins for Greater Philadelphia, but also Pennsylvania. And we really believe that our economic future could not be brighter. Thank you.
Thanks.
And our last speaker, I'd like to introduce Yogina Patel. Yogina is a great example of one of our employees who's been with the company many years. I'll let her tell her stories as our packaging supervisor, but I really appreciate all of her contributions to the company. So, Yogina.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely.
Good morning, everyone. Most of you know my name. Yogini Patel, packaging supervisor at Adair Pharma Solution. It's an honor to stand here and speak about my journey of 26 years of Adair Pharma Solution. Being a part of a company has been a more than just a career. It's a journey of a growth, purpose, and the pride. When I started Adair 2 decades ago, I couldn't have imagined how much this company would grow and innovate. Over the year, I have seen the company transfer into the global leader in pharmaceutical solutions, not just through ground-breathtaking technologies like Advatips and DefUcaps, but also through its commitment to making a difference into patients' lives. For me, Adair represents innovation, quality, and collaboration. It's a place where challenges are made with a cutting-edge solution and where the focus is always on improving a patient's outcomes. But more than that, it's about the people, the team that work tirelessly to deliver experience and culture that encourage us all to keep learning and pushing boundaries. As we look to the future, it's clear that investing in the company like Adair, it's not just an important, it's essential. Organizations like our drive advancement in the health care, improve patients' awareness, and create a solution that have a global impact. Supporting a company that prioritizes innovation and quality assurance, we continue to deliver value not just in our industry, but to the society as a whole. I'm incredibly proud to have spent more than 26 years contributing to this mission and looking forward to seeing what we can achieve in the year to come. Thank you very much. Thank you, team. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Very nice meeting
Thank you. You too.
Yes.
Thank you.
So Yogi was a recent recipient of what we call our culture coin. This is a coin that we produce and give to employees that have gone above and beyond. We actually presented the governor with a culture coin to thank him for his support. And I would like to just share a real quick anecdote. So every year we have kind of a metaphor or a theme that we use in the company. My first year, 2022, was not a good year for the company. It was tough. We had just acquired Frontiti. We were coming together. We had high turnover and had a number of different issues. We knew that the future was going to get brighter. For example, 2024, we used roads as our metaphor. We talked about all kinds of roads. Super highways, twisty, turny roads, roads with a lot of potholes in them, because not everything, not always is always perfect, exactly.
Somewhere else.
But in 2023, it was kind of what we called our bridge year. So we talked a lot about bridges. I happen to have one of my best friends, is a world-renowned bridge builder. He came in, spoke with our leadership team, and during the course of the year, we talked about all the different types of bridges. We didn't know how relevant or important it was going to be until the Cotman Bridge actually collapsed the summer of 2023. And we're like, oh my gosh, because this is a major thoroughfare for getting clients and suppliers and machinery in and out of our site. And I was super impressed that within under 2 weeks, you engaged with a large ecosystem of people to support you, but we're able to get that bridge back up and running in under 2 weeks. And here we have on the podium, Pennsylvania gets stuff done. And I'd use a little bit harsher language, but I think it was a great example of how you and your team get stuff done. So I just want to thank you for that and all your support.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Tom, thanks. And it is great to be here at Adair. I've not been here as many times as Secretary Siger, who has a standing quarterly meeting. But we are so darn proud of what you have built here and what you continue to build. And I want to say just how struck I was when I sat down with Tom, or came in to talk to Tom first here today. Oftentimes you'll visit with the CEO, and the first thing they want to do is tell you about the product that they just shipped or the project that they're working on. First thing Tom spoke to me about was the culture of this organization and his teammates here at Adair. He walked me over to the wall to show me all of your different values of your company, and I was honored to receive one of those coins. And I think it is important that great companies have great cultures and rely on the team that helps move it forward. I also would note that as we were walking through, I was struck by the different kinds of folks with different backgrounds, different educational backgrounds, great stories like Eugeni's in terms of a commitment to Adair and for being here for so long. That speaks to the health of this great company, and I think the future is bright for Adair, and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is proud to partner with you, and you can have Siger as many times a year as you need. I also want to say that we recognize, and Tom, I think I could speak for you on this, all of this is a team game. And you got to make sure everybody's rowing in the same direction. So we have a great team in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We're proud to partner with those here in the city who I know are committed to this. And I want to say a special thanks to Claire and the good folks at the Chamber of Commerce. You all are invaluable partners to us as we work on huge projects like Bellwether, as we work to invest in targeted companies like Adair, and as we work on workforce development issues, which we know are so important, or as we work just to make sure folks can get to and from their business riding SEPTA. So there's a lot of different things we're working on together, and we want to say thank you to the Chamber. And it is, of course, really good to be back here in Northeast Philly. It means I got to sleep in my own bed last night and had a real short commute. And I'm really, really proud that the commute time for the folks at Adair no longer requires them to go over a bridge to that other state. And while Phil's a good buddy of mine, Phil Murphy is, and I say this with all due respect to him, we're really proud that you're betting on Pennsylvania and that you've relocated from Jersey here to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, where yes, we do have better sports teams, and we're excited for your future, and we are all in. And we are very, very focused on making sure Adair can be successful, because I think Adair is an example of what we are trying to build here in this Commonwealth, and we're excited about their prospects and our prospects going forward. For the past 2 years, it's been really the honor of my lifetime to serve as the 48th governor of this great Commonwealth. And as you gear up to run for governor, at least for me, I did a whole lot of listening and not as much talking. I wanted to make sure that I listened to the people of Pennsylvania and I heard their concerns. And you know, as you travel across this vast, wonderful Commonwealth in rural, urban, suburban communities, you realize while the terrain may look a little bit different, folks kind of basically want the same 4 things, right? They want a really good school for their kids or grandkids. They want safe streets and safe communities to walk through and live in. They want economic opportunity in the zip code that they love, in the community that they were raised in or where they want to raise their families. And they want their rights and their freedoms to be protected. Those conversations that I've had along the way, both as a candidate and of course as governor over the last couple years, have informed all of the decision making that we've done in Pennsylvania. And we have delivered on the commitment in those 4 areas to really invest in Pennsylvania. I said when I was sworn in 2 years ago that your problems would become my priorities. And that is a promise that we've kept, and we're going to continue to deliver on that. As we reach this kind of halfway point in my first term, I think we have proven that we can keep promises, and we've proven that Pennsylvania knows how to do big things again. Whether it was, as Tom mentioned before, repairing a collapsed bridge on I-95 when a whole lot of folks said it was going to take months or years. I think we restored some pride in Philly and in Pennsylvania, showing that we can do big things again. Thanks to the organized labor that helped build that bridge, thanks to the engineers and others who came together and believed in that critical mission. We've also, I think, been able to tackle problems not in emergency times, but the kind of problems that have been talked about for years and years and years in state government, and every year there's another excuse as to why it doesn't get done. We've actually set our sights on addressing so many of those problems and delivering on them. We have gotten stuff done, and Pennsylvania is clearly on the rise. One of the biggest long-term challenges we faced in Pennsylvania is that we weren't competing effectively when it came to economic development. I remember sitting down with a site selector. Secretary Seiger referenced site selectors earlier. And every time they would choose another state, I would ask them, why did you choose to go to that other state and not Pennsylvania? And they would tell me quite candidly, Pennsylvania was never even in the game. We never really got off the bench and on the field. That has changed over the last 2 years. We recognized we needed to change that dynamic and put us back in the game and compete again. So we knew we had to do 4 things when it came to economic development. First, we had to have the right people around us who were hungry, who had the expertise, and who had the same attitude I have, which is to get stuff done. So we hired Secretary Rick Seiger to lead the Department of Community and Economic Development. And as you know from his presence here, this is the kind of on-the-ground focus he brings all across Pennsylvania. Ben Kirshner, who retired in his 40s, you could talk to him about that at some point, but decided he was not done. He wanted to come back and provide a public service to help businesses get off the ground. We have grown our team, and now we've got an A team who are here to do this extraordinary work. But just having a team without the other things we need wasn't going to get it done. So first was a team. Second, we needed a plan. For too many years, we were just kind of spraying dollars around the state, hoping something good would happen. We said we had to be far more focused. And I'm not someone who likes to have government plans that get written after years and years and years and then sit on a bookshelf somewhere. I want a plan that is something that sits in the center of every conference room table and actually acts as our guide, our blueprint for opportunity and success. So instead of focusing on a whole bunch of things, we decided to focus on 5 key pillars of our economy, including life sciences and manufacturing, 2 things that you see right here at Adair. Adair is a great example of it. We know that the life sciences sector in Pennsylvania contributes $62 billion to our economy and employs over 100,000 of our fellow Pennsylvanians. And Pennsylvania is quickly becoming a hub for the life sciences. When you look across the country, you've got a couple states that maybe have been a little bit ahead of us historically. As a Sixers fan, I hate to acknowledge that Boston is doing a little bit better than us in this space, but we are on their heels, and we're competing with them again to be able to take the reins of a life sciences economy and show that we can grow in that space. And so we know in order to do that, we've got to make sure that we're investing in the companies that need our investment and that are in a position to be able to grow in accordance with that plan. And so Adair is a great example of an investment. The Commonwealth was proud to invest $3 million in Adair. And we know that Adair is investing back in itself far more than that $3 million state investment. But as a result of that collaboration, right here in Philly, Adair is going to create 115 new jobs. And what's so interesting about the jobs that they have here at Adair is some of the folks who work here have advanced degrees. Some of the folks who work here are coming right out of high school. And hear me on this. We need to treat both pathways to opportunity with the same level of respect. We need both in our society. And Adair is proving that we can bring folks from all different walks of life, all different educational backgrounds together to be able to do this. We also have to understand that as Adair does its important work, they're stimulating the economy here in Pennsylvania in so many other ways, from the vials and the equipment that they purchase, at times from other Pennsylvania companies, to the energy producers that are supplying the energy that Adair needs, to the innovation in robotics and technology, which is going to allow a company like Adair to get even more efficient over the years. We know how critical that is. The life sciences touches everything. Hell, life sciences also touches one of the other 5 pillars of our economic development strategy, and that's agriculture. Now, you guys may not be there yet, but here's a fun fact for you. The largest purchaser of eggs from poultry farmers in Pennsylvania is a life sciences company that manufactures vaccines. It all fits together in these 5 key areas, and Adair is a great example of seeing how that comes together. So we needed that plan, we needed the people. Third, we needed the resources to be able to compete and the tools to be able to be successful. So we have worked with lawmakers on a bipartisan basis to put the funding together to put us in a position to invest in companies like Adair. I want to take a minute and highlight 2 of the public officials who are here today. You have with us Senator Picozzi and you have Representative Doherty. They both represent Northeast Philadelphia. Now, they're both new members, so they haven't voted on this stuff yet, but I know from talking to them, they share my views and my values when it comes to a lot of this work in economic development, and I trust that they will cast those votes and make those investments. Why do I highlight them? It's really important for you to understand this. I'm one of the only governors in the entire country with a divided legislature. So for us to put together the funding packages to be able to make investments like this in Adair, you need Republican votes and Democratic votes. Quite literally, I can't get a bill to my desk unless it's been passed with Republican votes and Democratic votes. And you've got a Republican senator and a Democratic representative here in your community, which in many ways is a microcosm of our politics in the rest of the state. What we are proving is that in Pennsylvania, we can come together on a bipartisan basis to focus on those key areas that Pennsylvanians care about. Good schools, safe communities, economic opportunity, protecting our fundamental rights and freedoms. And right here in Northeast Philadelphia, you've got 2 examples of that. I'm looking forward to working with both of these gentlemen to not just move this community forward and this great city forward, but to move our entire Commonwealth forward. They're both pragmatic and they're both committed to results. And so, gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on your victories, and I look forward to working with both of you. So please give them a round of applause. So now, we know we needed more resources, and we've been able to get that done. We also know that time is money, and we've got to move more quickly to help companies like Adair and others. I'll just give you one example of all the different reforms we've done to speed up permitting and to cut down processing times and to get businesses working more quickly. Every business in Pennsylvania, Tom will tell you this, requires a business license, whether it's Adair or whether it's your corner pizza shop or a barber shop. They all need a business license. The day I was sworn in 2 years ago, it took 8 weeks to get a business license in Pennsylvania. Today it takes just 2 days. We are speeding up how government responds to permit requests, how government responds when a business reaches out for a license. We don't want to be a hindrance for growth. We want to be your partners in growth. And so by having the dollars available to invest and by speeding up governmental operations and times, we are now that proven partner that folks need to be able to grow our economy in Pennsylvania. Things are working, and Pennsylvania is on the rise, and we are effectively competing with other states. Now listen, I'm hungry as hell. I want us to keep going, and that's why we bring our GSD attitude, our get stuff done attitude to everything we do. We're going to continue to invest, continue to stay focused, continue to look to companies like a DARE to help build our future, to create jobs and economic opportunity, to work with us on workforce development initiatives. They're going to be so critical for us to be able to compete in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. That GSD attitude is what allows us to bring Democrats and Republicans together and play the game between the 40s, instead of playing the game between the 20 and the goal line where extremism never results in progress for the people that you're sworn to serve. It is really important that we maintain that focus in Pennsylvania. And I wanted to be here at a DARE today to highlight the progress we've made and to congratulate a great Pennsylvania company for their growth and for all the work that they're doing. So to all of the teammates here at Adair, thank you for the work that you do. I look forward to continuing to watch your growth. To our partners in the chamber, partners in the legislature, to my team led by Secretary Seiger, we so appreciate the work you're doing. And while I am excited to get to know some of your teammates here, Tom, they make me answer questions from folks in the back before I can do that. So I'll take some questions from the media and then look forward to interacting with all of you. Thank you all very, very much. Appreciate you. Thank you. So if there's any questions for me, I'm having a hard time seeing you because of the light, but.
Asking about workforce development as it relates to attracting workers. I know you did the new tourism branding, the messaging has all changed. How are you being more strategic about the investments that not only attract people to visit the state, but actually want to stay and live here?
Yeah, well, look, we recognize it starts with a great quality education. That's the foundation. If you're going to have a strong workforce, you got to make sure students have great schools to learn in. But you also got to make sure that the curriculum in our school includes things like CTE or VOTEC. I want a student in the 9th, 10th, 11th grade to learn not just history and math and English. I also want them to learn to be a welder. I also want them to learn the trades and other skills so they can decide when they leave high school what the best path is for them going forward, and to see opportunities for them here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, to see a community they want to live in because it's safe, to see a community that they want to live in because they can afford to live in a home or an apartment in that area, to feel as though their rights and their freedoms are going to be protected here in Pennsylvania and their quality of life is going to be even better. They can get to and from where they need to go because they got good quality roads with no potholes, and that they've got a great transit system like SEPTA and others across Pennsylvania. We recognize that we are a state that is aging, and we recognize that in order to address that and to keep our grandparents here who we love and we cherish them being here, we also need to make sure that we're investing in their grandkids and giving them an opportunity for success. And we're coming at that in so many different ways, and we're beginning to see that working here in Pennsylvania.
Governor Shapiro, 2 off-topic questions, unless checking us on top. I'm good. Last month, Philadelphia City Council passed a package of bills approving the 76ers proposal to build an arena at Market East. What's your response to this proposal to build an arena, getting the green light, and what kind of impact do you think that'll have in that area of Center City?
Well, look, City Council and the mayor made clear that they want to see that arena on Market Street. The Sixers now have what they need to move forward and to build. That's obviously been an area of the city that's kind of struggled economically. So I'm hoping, and look, obviously City Council and the mayor did a lot of work to study this. I'm hoping that this is going to lead to some greater vitality, greater economic opportunity, and a greater number of wins for the Sixers if they relocate to Market Street.
And then just one follow-up question on that as well. There's a few members of the Pennsylvania General...
Just speak up. It's a little hard to hear you.
Sorry. One follow-up question on that, Governor, is that there are a few members of the Pennsylvania General Assembly who oppose this arena. Specifically, they criticize the deal, saying they want to make sure there's no state funding going towards it. Just for your thoughts, is there any sort of state funding going towards this, and would you be open to providing state funding?
I've made clear over and over and over again, I think you've asked me this question multiple times. It's fair, you can ask me as many times as you want. I am not going to be supportive of the state putting funding into building the arena. Anything else?
I mean, maybe one more, another off-topic one, if you don't mind, Governor, or no?
I mean, it doesn't matter if I mind. You're going to ask the question anyway. Ask Picosi a question. I don't know. Come on. We'll decide if I'm going to answer this or he is.
It was reported yesterday that Senator John Fetterman has agreed to meet President-elect Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Just curious, have you had any conversations with the President-elect since he won, and would you be open to meeting the President-elect at some point? An opportunity?
I haven't spoken to the President-elect since he was elected. I've made very, very clear that I'm looking forward, that I'm prepared to work with anyone to move Pennsylvania forward. And I think it's going to require us working on a bipartisan basis to continue to get stuff done. I'm no stranger to that. We're doing that with the legislature, Republicans and Democrats coming together to make progress. I look forward to working with Senator McCormick. He and I have communicated about Pennsylvania priorities, obviously with Senator Fetterman as well, and we're going to continue to work with our entire delegation and the President-elect to move our Commonwealth forward. There's a lot of needs here in Pennsylvania. I think President Biden's done a very, very good job of delivering the resources we need to move our Commonwealth forward, and I'm hopeful that President-elect will continue to do that as well. Okay? Thank you all very much.